back to Hailmiss Day 3. Yes, guys, this is a really important one, and I was so excited writing up this concept because let's just be for real, like, I feel like the term red flags is like really common to use right now. Like, everybody's using this word when they're describing like men or women that they're dating, and I figured let's put a little spin on it and let's talk about the red flags that you have within yourself that you could probably work on in 2022 or before 2022 starts, and kind of acknowledge these things, because we want to be the best versions of ourselves. And when we start acknowledging our negative qualities or things that we maybe need to work on, we're just gonna be that fucking girl. So, sorry if I burp a lot in this video, it's because I've been drinking LaCroix. Limoncello is my favorite. This one in passion fruit and watermelon, delish. But yeah, it makes me very burpy, so I apologize in advance. Weird situation that we have going on here. I'm literally just sitting in my kitchen with my laptop in front of me because you guys know I like to take notes on these types of videos. But yeah, if you guys have been enjoying Hailmiss, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already. And if you've been watching Hailmiss and not being subscribed, what the hell is going on? Make sure you guys subscribe down below, because obviously, yes, this is like a Christmas vlog type of schedule where I'm posting every day, but let's just be for real, these videos apply all year round. So this is not just for the Christmas time. So if you guys like these types of videos, give a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and follow me on Instagram so you guys can be updated on every single day, because I am gonna let you guys know on there what video comes tomorrow. So make sure you guys do that. And yeah, guys, let's just get into the red flags that you need to work on before 2022. Let's just do it. Okay, so the first red flag that I think we should all work on, if you have this issue, is the red flag of being judgmental. Now, it's natural. We as humans, and I don't care who you are, we as humans are just naturally always trying to like find something wrong with people. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because there's so many of us and naturally we start to act weird around things that make us feel like uncomfortable or things that we don't understand. So naturally we judge people. Well, I want us to start curbing that. Kind girls are sexier, in my opinion. I think being kind, and obviously kind guys too, kind boys and girls and gender neutral people, we are all sexy when we are kinder. And I think that just being like super free, open, not really like putting like weird, what's the word called, like stipulations on people. We don't make people have to fit in a box. We just let people be who they are. Hi. By the way, you guys are gonna hear my neighbor a lot, because for some reason, ever since I've started Hailmiss, she's been walking. She's been using her apartment as a place to get her steps in, which I really appreciate for her. I hope she's getting in those steps and hitting those body goals that she clearly wants to do. Anyways, y'all, so yes, being judgmental is not hot. And a lot of people do notice these things in you. So like if you start dating a guy and like you start showing this side to yourself when it comes to like, let's just say you're on a date, right? And like a girl walks past you and you're like, ew, like, do you see her? Like, she looks so bad. He's gonna be like, why are you even paying like this person any mind? I mean, granted, there are men out there who are very judgmental as well. And I actually used to date a guy years ago who was like the nastiest person ever. And he would always find like something wrong with everyone. And it really turned me off. So it's a turn off. It's a red flag. Work on it. Be kind, be nice. Yeah. That's really all I have to say on that. Okay, so the second red flag for us to work on is, and I put these together, is having low standards or lack of boundaries. So let's start with low standards first. We as women and men, whoever is watching, we probably like to set the bar pretty high for ourselves in our mind. And then there's some of us who maybe don't find ourselves worthy, and we struggle with looking at ourselves as deserving of good things. And a lot of the times people who have experienced trauma in their life, people who have experienced bad relationships, toxic environments, may have very low standards due to those circumstances. And I want you, no matter where you come from, no matter what type of life you've led up until this point, to raise your standards. It's respectable, you look better when you have higher standards, and you don't let people walk all over you when you set these standards. And that also goes for boundaries, which we're gonna get into right now. Lack of boundaries is something that is just not cute, okay? This is not to tell people what to do and what not to do. Like, setting boundaries on people is to not tell them what to do and what not to do. What it does is it tells people what you allow and what you don't allow in your life. It's not telling people what to do, it's just telling people what you will not tolerate. And I find that that is super healthy, and it protects you, it protects your heart, it protects who you are, it protects your morality, and you deserve to have boundaries and standards. And I do believe that when you raise those, when you raise your standards and when you create healthy boundaries, you are going to meet like really quality people, which I think is dope. And that's burp number 2. I think it's really cool to be able to like say no and like know like what you do and do not like and what you will and will not tolerate. Like I think that's really cool. And when you do create that for yourself, you protect your entire environment, you protect your space, you protect your peace, and you just become a better human being all around. So red flag number 2 to work on, having low standards, having no boundaries. Let's get those together, and in order, you deserve it. Okay, so number 3 is something that a lot of people struggle with, surprisingly enough. So red flag number 3 is indecisiveness. I think that becoming a more decisive person takes years of just learning through struggling with the issue of being indecisive. I know for me, when I was indecisive about a couple things in my life, it definitely put a block on a lot of my blessings. It was just not doing what it needed to do for me. I was always very indecisive about what I want to do with my life, even though in the back of my mind, I kind of knew what I wanted, because we all kind of know what we want. Like if somebody says, do you want the chocolate chip cookie or do you want the vanilla sugar cookie? You probably want the vanilla sugar cookie, but you're like, oh, I don't know, because maybe I'm in the mood for whatever your mind tells you that you want, just have that. And that's how you should apply anything into life. And becoming a decisive person just takes years of experience, and it just becomes exhausting and tiring to be indecisive. Like you just realize, okay, I don't want to fucking do this shit anymore. Like it's stupid. I want to actually create a healthy mind space where I trust myself, I trust what I feel and what my gut tells me, and I don't question myself. And when you start doing that, you are going to just be like a better human being all around. Being decisive is hot. Let's practice it. And I know that it could be difficult in the beginning, so do it with something small first and then you can work your way up. Yeah. Okay, number 4, a red flag to work on is dependency on others for happiness, or honestly just anything, dependent on anything. You should not be dependent. You are the creator of your own happiness. And I don't like to get into like happiness so much because I know a lot of it has to do with mental health. But if we're just talking about like the surface level version of happiness, you are the creator of this. You are the creator of your own life. You are the author of your book. So I would suggest to start having more independent vibes going for you. Being dependent on others for whether it's financial reasons or for decision making, or if it has to do with happiness or love or anything like that, free yourself from those chains, babe. Like free yourself. Being independent is going to make you feel so much better, and you are going to really feel like, wow, everything I do is my own version of what I think life should be like. You're not struggling with, you know, being reliant on other people for things, and it's just a really great feeling. I know for me, obviously, growing up, I was very dependent on my parents for a lot of things, and when I freed myself, when I moved out into my own life, yes, it was difficult, but it was so freeing and it was liberating, and it felt really good to gain that independence, and I feel like I grew up so fast when I allowed that to happen. Okay, so the 5th red flag to work on is minimizing yourself because of fear. I don't want anybody to shrink themselves down. Do you think that J-Lo shrunk herself? Do you think that Beyonce shrunk herself? No. They literally allowed themselves to prosper, grow. They shot for the frickin' stars, okay? We need to do the same. Minimizing yourself is only going to create a very average life, especially if you don't want an average life. Why create that for yourself? Everybody has their own life goals, whether they are big or small. Shoot for those. Do not minimize yourself because you're afraid of what people are gonna think. You're afraid that it won't work out. You're afraid that it's not who you really think you are. Just do it. Just do it and you're gonna find out. Everything is gonna work itself out, and allow yourself to just grow, prosper. Don't fear people thinking that you're cocky or too confident or anything like that. People are gonna talk, and you know what they say, the people that mind don't matter, and the people that matter don't mind. So figured I'd put that out there. Okay, the 6th red flag is something that I was struggling with as a teenager, and I figured I'd put it out there, is bottling up your emotions and then exploding. A lot of us do this because we don't want to be confrontational, we're afraid that we're gonna be yelled at or whatever, but I'm telling you right now, bottling up anger, emotions, or anything like that is just not cute. Figure out a way to process these things, whether it's talking to the person that upset you, whether it's talking to a therapist, whether it's putting it into like a creative outlet. Find healthy ways to deal with this type of feeling, because when I tell you right now, it's very unattractive and it seems very unhinged to explode. And I am somebody who struggled with this like a lot of my life. Like, I was the definition of explode. And when I exploded, it scared people. I just realized my straw is in the entire video. Sorry. I was somebody who truly blew up at people. I don't know if it's a Cancer thing. I don't like to blame everything on my astrology chart, but I do know a good amount of Cancers who have this same situation going. So I'm just gonna say it's a Cancer thing, that we tend to be emotional, but we wait until a moment is big enough for us to have that emotion. So I would say work on that. It's not a vibe, and especially as you approach adulthood or just becoming more grown and sound, you don't want to be somebody who's unhinged and doesn't know how to manage your emotions. Like, it's just not good for you or for others. And I think that when you start putting it into other things, whether it's like painting or going to a therapist or just talking about it in the moment, you're going to just see a huge difference in yourself, and you're gonna feel like a huge relief. Like, why hold on to these things? Like, it's not good for you at all. Okay, the 7th red flag is something that I think a lot of Gen Zs need to hear, and it's rushing. And that means rushing anything, whether it's a relationship, a career, a goal, whatever it is, we need to slow it down. Life is a freaking journey. There is no reason to be rushing every single thing in our lives. This is something that I struggled with for a long time because I was an instant gratification queen. I wanted it, and I wanted it now. I didn't want to have to wait. I didn't want to have to work for it. I just wanted it. I wanted it. That's not how life goes. The best things in life are going to take time for us to get and obtain, and you need to just slow it down. This goes for relationships too. If you are somebody who seemingly rushes into relationships, you don't actually take the data that you need on a person, you try to find the good in everybody, and you just want to like be in love and it's never gonna work out. Like, being more slow pace and actually processing it and seeing if it's gonna work out, whether it's career, relationship, or whatever, you're going to realize that the decisions that you're gonna make are a little bit better because you thought them through. So slow everything down, no need to rush, everything will come in due time, and to just be a patient person. Okay, so the 8th red flag to work on is listening more and talking less. Oh my God, Hailey, are you talking about yourself? I sure am. I have struggled with this my whole life. I am a very talkative person, and I do believe that when I started listening to people, I actually started to learn things. Holy crap, really? Wow, who thought that if you listen, you learn? It's very true. And you are going to notice that when you are in a room with people that are a little bit smarter than you, but you should always try and strive to be in rooms with people that are smarter than you want to just stop and listen. Let them talk about their life experiences. Let them teach you things. Even if you're on a date with a guy and let's just say he's super successful, why are you talking the whole time? Like, let him tell you the secret, okay? Like, as to how he got there. You can't learn the secret if you're freaking talking the whole time. So I definitely think that listening is so important, and to always think before you speak. Don't just talk just to talk. Like, definitely think about the things that you want to say and allow them to have meaning behind them. And I think that this is so important and crucial. I'm working on it myself personally, and I have noticed a huge difference in just recent events where I've allowed people to just speak to me about what they got going on, and I'm like, wow, I'm so happy you told me that. You know what I mean? So definitely do that. Red flag number 9 is a lack of care when it comes to being blunt and not being private. So I actually talked about this in another video, another Hailmas video. I don't know if it was my last one or the first one, but what I want you to understand is that being vulgar, too open is obnoxious, and I am speaking from experience. I am probably the most obnoxious person I know. I have always struggled with having a filter. I've always struggled with saying the correct thing, saying too much, like, I just always have had this issue. And it hasn't been until recently that I've noticed that this is something that I really want to work on, because as much as my sense of humor is not for everyone, and I actually do believe that most people that I've met in my life, like, they really do get me, and I don't struggle to like make friends or have experiences with people. Like, I usually get along with a lot of people, but I will say that being open and blunt with the wrong person could like go a really bad way. And I just think that when we become older, we should just be a little bit more private. We shouldn't be so open. We shouldn't be so blunt. We shouldn't be so chaotic when it comes to how we speak. And I think that this is just something that we all need to work on, especially if you are like me and you're very extroverted when it comes to like social environments, and you enjoy a little bit of shock factor. Like I know for me, I've always enjoyed shock factor, and now I'm learning that like I like that more with like my personal friends, like my private encounters with my real friends, not with regular random people. Number 10, the final red flag that we all need to work on before 2022 is enjoying toxicity and chaos. I am talking to you Scorpios. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said that. This goes for literally anybody who has thrived in an environment where it was chaotic or toxic. What's that freaking song from TikTok? Your love is toxic. Your love is... People love that shit. Like, what is up with the toxic love? Like, I'm just not interested. Like, I actually thrive now in an environment where I sleep well at night, and I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want toxicity in my life. I don't want chaos. Like, the kind of chaos I like is a really, really fun night where we all got home safe and like we had the best time ever, and it was a lot of smiling and laughing, and then we go to bed. Like, I don't like, you know, how it used to be when I was in high school where I couldn't find a ride home from a party and I was walking in the middle of the street barefoot and I was drunk and not cute. Like, that was not the vibe, okay? Like, that was toxic and chaotic, and that was not fun. It was a little fun, but like looking back on it, I'm like, I do not want that anymore. That is not fun for me as an adult. So definitely work on, you know, enjoying that, and try to find enjoyment in peace and in comfort and in maybe a little bit of boredom. Like, oh my God, we actually enjoy being bored. Yes, I do. I love knowing that nobody is fucking screwing me over. I love knowing that I'm not lost in the middle of the desert. Like, that's awesome. Thank you. God is really looking out for me. So definitely work on this. Like, we don't want chaos in our lives, and it's just not cute. Like, work on that. Like, I get it. It can be a little fun, you know, with that sneaky link who's a total disaster of a person. I get it. But like, no. Just no. Hailmas Day 3 is over. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Red flags we all need to work on before 2022. Hello, hi. Let's all be self-aware queens. Let's tap into this, tap in, okay? And just become the better versions of ourselves. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.